Alright. Where are we now? Uh, oh wait, I need to announce this on Tumblr. Hang on. Wrath and vengeance, grudge and spite, we march into the afterlife. Wrath and vengeance, grudge and spite, we march into the afterlife. Ugh, hang on a sec. Ah, no. What did I drop? Ugh. Alright, it's okay. Oh, good. Big knife. Gonna need this. Alright. Who the hell is here? 4 viewers? Who are these 4 viewers? Oh my gosh, it's Blar J is one of them. So it's Donk and Drapsnat and 101 Ella and Alice Hydra and Donk7 and Pineberry Shortcake and Worm Creature? Wow. Hey, how are people doing? Oh, hang on a minute. You guys can't see me. Give me a sec. Let's see if this works. See, all right, let's see. Hang on. What the hell is going on here? Give me a second. Is my camera not working? Oh, come on. Yeah, no, it's working. What? I mean, look, check this out. Yeah, it's working. I don't know why it wasn't working earlier. All right. Before I get started, I'm going to need to do a thing. See, this is a persimmon. Haven't had one of these in a while. But my sister, neighbor, has a persimmon tree. So now I got a persimmon. Give me one sec. Alright, so the first step is you gotta take the tip of your knife and pry off the top bit. That ain't good to eat. Alright, now I'm gonna take a knife and just kind of cut it in half. Then from halves into quarters, alright? So from here, what you're gonna do, you're gonna just take your knife here. You're just gonna gently gotta be careful there. This persimmon's a little harder than I expected. This knife might need a little resharpening. No, the knife is fine. It's actually not fine. This is a general camping knife, not a kitchen knife. And I'm using it like a paring knife. Alright. So there we go. That takes off the skin. And you just cut it into nice wedges, take a bite. It's a little unripe. Could use a little bit more ripeness. But not bad. Alright. Give me a sec. Slay the Princess. Yo, how's it going, Alfie? I'm gonna play a little more of this Slay the Princess. Give me one sec. Alright, who's watching? Mostly Alfie streams, apparently. Alright, I'm in the voice chat. Okay. Let's begin. Who have we encountered so far? I think we've encountered the Razor. The anime chick. And just the utter fear. Alright, let's see who we're... whatever horrors you may find in these dark places, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Is it now? Alright. Hang on a minute.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Alright, let's load
You're
this.
on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
It will be the end of the world. Alright. Okay. Sweet. I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Viva la Revolucion.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Alright. You know what I'm thinking this time, guys? All in. We're just gonna walk straight in there and we're just gonna slay the princess.
The interior of the blade is your implement.
Alright, let's get the blade.
Take the blade from the table.
Let's enter the basement. And let's just go frickin' slay a princess.
Open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Huh. You want to make a game like this? I can see the persistence in my mind, like Bad End Theater. Yeah, that'll be fun.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's just say... Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Steel your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Bring it, bitch.
So,
let's have ourselves a fucking knife fight. Let's do this.
Best not to risk finding...
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Slay the princess!
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Gotcha!
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Hell no? Last time you turned into a demon. The time before that, you were made of knives. So, let's see what you come up with now.
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Really?
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Uh-oh.
But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is. She's dead. I'm not sure it feels like she has to have some kind of trick up her sleeve. See, of course not. That was too easy.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Alright. Why do I feel like we're about to just run into some absolute shit? Because last time, she turned into a horror movie monster. Let's see what's gonna happen now.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
Because you did, you killed a princess.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Alright, let's see.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Why do I feel like we're about to get our asses handed to us?
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Why do I feel like we just fucked up? I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for... Oh, that's bullshit. Let's get me out of here.
What's done is done. And there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Fuck you, narrator.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Hell no. Did you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Okay, I'm not happy, and maybe I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to.
Because I have an idea to get us out of here, though you're probably not going to like it. The
What
blade.
is it?
We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Uh-huh. Sounds fine to me.
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
Got it.
Don't you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't
How
we be dead?
astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever.
Yeah.
I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work.
Alright.
That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have put a content warning for self-harm about this. Better be right about this. I'll be pretty upset if we die.
If we die, you can yell at me all you want.
Let's go for
I
it.
made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs.
Yep.
The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Chapter 2. The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the
worrisome?
end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
If he doesn't remember what happened, that's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie. She won't be a problem.
Let's proceed into the cabin. Looks like we picked up the voice of the cold this time.
The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your... It feels like no one's been... Like I've been saying...
Well, let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
Let's do the mirror bit.
You reach forward and rub your... But there was... And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Alright, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open.
Yeah, this time we've got a basement with
and a creaky wooden stairwell.
In bad
Everything
condition,
is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
You must slay the cabin.
The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Oh great, ghost girlfriend time.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
You got a ghost waifu.
Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, this became phasmophobia.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
Okay.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
Apparently she is a ghost waifu. I was joking about that.
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
If we wanted to, yeah, but I mean, look at her. She's cute. You know what? Let's wait and see how things play out.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Okay, clearly slaying you isn't going to work. What do you want?
I want what you took from me. A life. A real life. I just want to go home. Away back to where I belong. This place won't let me leave. At least not alone.
Oh boy.
I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls.
Apparently this is
But
the
I never
ASMR
found a
route?
way out. I always wound up right back here.
This isn't good for me.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything would be fine.
Yeah, everything probably would be fine, but, you know...
Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things. It'd be dull, anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
Yes, it is.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you owe me.
There we go. That's more like it. What's the word for being scared and turned on? Both mark you down as scared and horny.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
Yes, you're right,
Would
but
she be able
look at
to
that
see
face.
us if we went along with it?
Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him.
Scare-roused.
I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
Wow, you're making a really good argument for this, Nicole.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
The narrator's really not helping here.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
Oh, shut up, coward, and just enjoy the ride.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body.
Okay, this is not what I had in mind.
You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
I was thinking, you know, like cute stand, you know, like from JoJo. Collapse to the floor and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Doesn't work like that for you, huh?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
What do you mean, Yuri? Alfie stream, what do you mean, Yuri? Alright.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
What shards of broken glass?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
Yeah, what are you?
I'm... a voice? I'm me, is what I am.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
Yeah, thank you, Voice of the Cold.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
Uh-huh.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
That is a good point.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
Mm-hmm.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
They really don't.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
That is a good point. You're all shards of broken glass. Then what's the narrator?
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
More important, huh?
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
Uh-huh.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
Oh yeah, the mirror. Yeah.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen.
Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
Yes, we all do know that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
We made an awesome decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
Mm-hmm.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Let's leave the basement.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world?
That's a good point, Hero.
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
That's a good
But
point.
it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
I
Maybe.
suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door.
Alright.
For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Maybe.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able.
Good. Be a tsundere.
It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
Okay.
And whine.
Thank you,
This
Cold.
body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Let's just trudge forward. Yeah.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
Mm-hmm.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
I'm sure you won't.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will.
Okay.
Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah. Let's open up that door. End the world, probably.
But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open.
Uh-huh.
Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see...
Well, what do I see?
Yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
Okay.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world?
We're still here.
This is true.
Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
I think that's a good point.
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Okay. Ah, hitchhiker. You feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
Anna, you actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Killer.
Aw, you're cute. Now you're gonna end the world.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's the arms. You don't get the chance to respawn, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's gonna be okay, just trust me. We've been here before and you always
It
get
feels
scared.
so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You don't need to comfort him.
See you on the other side. It's going to
Okay.
be okay.
If you... Whatever makes you happy.
Approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. You're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Oh. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Let's approach her. She's a ghost.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Uh-huh. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is vaporous. She is a dream for a life she could never have. But that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for an understanding heart.
Okay.
Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you think that anything out there is real? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Uh-huh. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. Call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels have one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. And when I find him, you and I are finally going to have some answers.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
All right. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Okay. All right. If this is the last time, is there anything you'd like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
All right. If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here. Maybe.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
There is no waiting forever. Ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Will we? All right.
I will be here, waiting for you.
All right. Everything goes dark. And you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
All right. Sweet. Always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Let's proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost a blade.
Let's get the blade.
Take the blade.
Let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds, don't let it fool you.
All right. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. You walk down the stairs. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's tighten our grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Let's slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Oh, I think there's a new.
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Did you just punch me in the face?
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Wow, she just punched me in the face!
Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
See, the first time she turned into a knife and she stabbed me in the chest. Now she's just kung fu fighting me.
We can still turn this around.
Let's finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
Uh-huh.
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Uh-huh.
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Gotcha.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
This was fun.
Oh no, she's become a worthy rival.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
I know it isn't.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The adversary, huh?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
If he doesn't remember, you know I can hear you, right? That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Hey there, stubborn.
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Alright, let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lying. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
Mm-hmm.
The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
Alright, let's proceed into the cabin.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone
towers.
walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your...
Let's approach the mirror.
Walk. What are you talking?
Let's do the
Reach
wall.
for- but there-
thing.
Now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing.
Take
You
the blade.
blade.
And let's enter the basement. This time I think we're gonna beat her.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its
All
walls
right.
pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally, It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
I mean, she sounds like crazy hot.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Okay, Stubborn, you are almost as down bad as the voice of the smitten.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
Says you!
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
This has been a bad episode for me acting normally. Mommy? You're very tall.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh boy, she has hooves for feet and a devil tail and horns.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Yeah.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes.
Oh no.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Death by snoo snoo. Death by snoo snoo. You look different.
You look exactly the same.
Alright, fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line.
Huh.
Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Okay. You know, just because it bothers you, I'm going to take this even less seriously. You don't know the depths of my apathy. Don't worry, I'm going to do a good job.
Great. Now focus up and do it then.
So I'm not here saying I'm not here to fight. But I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first, like how we're both alive.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hi, Violet Skies. So you do remember me?
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life.
Okay, they're not even
So,
trying.
why don't we do it again?
They're not even trying.
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
Hi, Skies. I think Chowder found his favorite route. I mean... I don't know what happened to you last time, but I'm not fighting a giant demon lady. Turn around and leave without saying anything. You know what? Let's attack the princess. Unless... Yeah, let's attack the princess.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
I mean, look at this art.
Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
Whatever you say, Stubborn.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood.
Oh!
She's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
That hurt.
You can hear her chain snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart.
Fair.
You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
Yes, but more than this world needs me to win, I need to get my ass handed to me and just stomped into the ground by Demon Mother Dimitrescu.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
You know what, stubborn? Yeah, I'm on your side. Hurrah!
If that's your plan, then that's your plan. You push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more.
Blood for the blood god!
You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
Let's keep pushing.
The princess's grin widens as the two of you push against each other, her fiery eyes and masochistic glee practically lighting up the dreary cave.
Yes, you finally get it, don't you?
Oh, I do.
Nothing exists outside of us. It's just you and me, dying and coming back, clashing against each other. Forever.
That's not what's going on. There's an entire world at stake here. Yes, the fate of the world doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this fight. The only thing that matters is getting stronger. And the only way to get stronger is to win, even if it takes us forever to get there. Your balance is suddenly thrown off as the princess pulls you into her knee.
Ugh! She's about to Muay Thai me.
It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood
Mummy.
from the impact. We're fine! You barely have enough time to notice before the princess follows up and smashes her forehead against yours.
Ow.
Your grip loosens from the impact, the blade still wedged in her arm as you tumble to the cold stone floor.
Oh, look, the chest wound is closed up.
I said we're fine. I didn't say you weren't fine. I was just describing what happened. You might not have said as much, but you certainly implied it.
Uh-huh.
It really doesn't matter. The princess glances down at the blade embedded in her arm, and with near total ignorance to pain, slides it out of its sinewy prison.
Uh-huh.
You forgot this.
Yes, ma'am.
She tosses it at your feet.
Aren't you jumping the gun a little here? We each died once. That doesn't mean we're immortal.
How much more proof do you need? Would it help to watch me rise from the dead with your own two eyes? Fine. Go ahead. Stab me in the heart. See what happens.
The princess throws open her arms, exposing her chest. Is she really just going to let you slay her? Do it. Do it right now, before she changes her mind. Hold on. What if this is a trick? If she's leaving herself open like this, there's only one way we can strike at her. For all we know, she's 3 steps ahead of us.
Yes, I want her to be 3 steps ahead of us.
Have you met her? This isn't a trick.
Yeah, stubborn, I'm siding with you.
Know that? Because I wouldn't think to trick us, so why would she? That's a great point, so please stop hesitating and end this now.
Cut it out, will you? I ain't gonna take a cheap win like that.
The princess grins as her arms fall back to her sides.
Good. Enough talk. Let's fight.
Huh!
You and the princess attack each other once again, each of you dealing a single, terrible, lethal blow.
Wait, does that mean we're...
Dead. Or rather, about to be dead. As your blade pierces her sternum, the princess buries her fist into the soft meat of your organs.
Ugh.
You feel a few horrifically painful pops, a gush of fluid, and... it's over. It's finally over.
Something, not the sort of fisting I was thinking. Something.
No, it's not. We're just getting started.
Oh, thank you,
But
stubborn.
it is over. Dead is dead. I know this isn't the happiest ending for you, but you saved the entire world from ruin. There are few better endings than that.
Narrator, I'm going to teach you about a little concept called Valhalla.
Well, are you going to listen to him? Or are you going to listen to me? Get.
Let's get up.
No, that can't be right. Your eyes bolt open and you push yourself back to your feet. Alive. Ha! I told you. I told you this wasn't over.
Of course it isn't.
What about her? The blade went right through her heart.
What about her? If we're fine, then she's fine.
No, she's dead. She has to be... No!
We're all shit out of luck, aren't we? I knew it. I told you we should all believe in her. This is perfect.
The princess rises from the ground, staggering slightly, one hand wrapped around the hilt of the blade still buried in her heart.
Uh-huh.
We don't even need to start over anymore, do we? Let's go again.
She pulls the weapon from her chest, barely wincing, and hurls it at your feet.
Uh-huh.
You know what to do. Again!
But she came back. What's the point of fighting her if she can just do that?
All of you need to settle down. This whole situation is coming dangerously close to untethering. She clearly never actually died. You just missed her heart, that's all.
Oh, we just missed her heart? Oh, of course, that's all. You were the one who said we hit her heart. You were the one who said it was finally over.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess I had it wrong. You guess you had it wrong? Aren't you supposed to know everything?
Are you supposed to know everything?
I never said I knew everything.
Fair. Wait, close to untethering. What's that
Nothing.
supposed to mean?
It means nothing. I shouldn't have said that. But you did say it, so it means something.
Oh, stop bickering over nothing. Our destiny is right in front of us. Pick up the blade and go to her.
Okay, fine. That is what I meant by untethering.
Do you hear him rambling on about destiny? He's lost the thread, and if you lose the thread, you won't be able to save the world.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't have to answer that, and I'm not going to answer that. Why the bloody hell not? Because right now, there's still a razor-thin chance that you're able to get your act together. There are patterns of thought out there that beg to be finished, but once you finish them, that's it. They change everything. There's no going back, and if I say anything else, you're going to finish one of those thoughts.
What?
The princess can't die? You mean like the princess can't die? Don't you? Well, it's too late for that. I think we've all thought that. The princess can't die. I'm not going to say the princess can't die. I'm not even going to think it. The princess can't die. The princess can't die. Can die. Lie. Well, you mean like the princess can't die, don't you? It's too late for all of that. I think we've all thought of that one.
Yes. Exactly. Like, the princess can't die.
Mm-hmm.
I tried, you know. I tried very hard to make this work.
I don't like that resignation. Are you sure we can't just unthink it?
Yes, like I said, I'm afraid some thoughts can't be unthought. I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to pour myself a stiff drink. If I'm going to see the end of everything, I'd
rather not be sober.
You know what? Narrator's got a point.
So I was right. Why are all of you so glum? This is perfect, isn't it? We get to experience greatness and battle and triumph forever.
Valhalla, huh?
But I think it was the stubborn one who said, your destiny awaits, right?
Absolutely.
No. No, hold on. There has to be another way. What if we just leave her down here? What if we run away? What if we convince her not to end the world? You can't reason with her. Ending the world is her fundamental nature. It's not a decision she can flip on and off. It is her.
And why exactly can't we leave her down here?
Because all it would do is stall the inevitable.
Uh-huh.
And what's wrong with stalling?
Hey, fair, hero.
Oh, there's plenty wrong with stalling. The end is still the end, and I'd rather face mine head on.
Oh, you mopey ass. Why did you even ask us to slay her if it was going to end like this?
Because it didn't have to end like this. If you don't mind, I'd rather not spend everyone's last moments arguing with you. It's
Fair
time.
point. It's time.
Yes, I suppose it is.
If we fight her forever, then maybe she can't end the world. Maybe everything can still work out.
I guess we'll just have to see how things play out.
Let's go.
Don't you get it? You don't have to shuffle your feet. What comes next is going to last forever.
Join your adversary.
With an unbreakable determination, you snatch the blade from the floor and stumble back to your feet. Both you and the princess quake with adrenaline as your eyes lock across the basement floor and share a knowing look.
Adrenaline, huh? Is that what they're calling it?
Free from hesitation, you close the distance, both you and the princess aiming to end each other.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna end each other.
Your blade digs into her neck, grinding
maybe
against
not
her
that
vertebrae
way.
as her fist connects with your body. The impact forces the air from your lungs, stars dancing in front of your eyes as you fail to keep your bearing. You both collapse to the ground before either of you has a chance to survey the damage.
And then we get up.
Get up.
Yes. And then you get up.
That was a good one. More.
Slay the
You and the
princess.
princess exchange dozens of devastating blows. Sometimes you manage to strike first, and sometimes she tears through you before you have a chance to act. But more often than not, each of you fells the other in the same moment.
Wow.
And then you get up and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
We're all still here. This is all going to be okay. Isn't it?
Isn't it?
But he doesn't answer the voice. He'll never answer. He's gone.
What are you waiting for? I'm right here. Do you think this is... What is this place?
Say hello to the long silence.
Did we do this?
I think we did.
I didn't think we had it in us. But I guess that stuck-up control freak was right.
It's the end of the world, isn't it? It's the end of everything.
Far from it. We're still here. And she's still here too.
The princess stumbles and her body slumps.
I feel so... tired.
And there come the hands. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory
She's
returns.
gone. Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Let's approach the mirror. You approach the
This-
mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. Huh. That's new, but that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You focus on your gaze, and then you see it, a figure, faint and veiled in shadow just beyond the reflection. Are you
I
me?
think you know what I am.
Oh. A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. Well, that's new. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Okay, this is new. Alright. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Is that a rat or a crow with teeth? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Okay. Oh gosh, we're losing pieces of every piece of the mirror. Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks.
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I?
You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her.
Others like you've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design.
Uh-huh.
This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world.
Okay.
But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you before, you denied it as even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant.
Uh-huh.
For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
I'm sure you can. People out there beyond the walls of the construct, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound.
The shifting mound?
Flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be.
Uh-huh.
But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
Shifting mound, huh?
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Alright. Then what is my true identity?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Huh. The long quiet, huh? Why would you want to rid the world of death?
If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
And it's the last one. I think you're out of time.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As a final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator is right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
That's a lot of naked butts.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
You're a tree made of ladies. I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response and then patiently waits for you to continue. I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What do you know about the Echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
Well, what happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the Echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
Uh-huh.
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There are so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is all of this falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Well, there was one that wasn't full of strife and conflict, and in that one you were an anime waifu. Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and I need answers before I can make a choice.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Oh, look.
The sensation of bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. A past that is also present. A pain that is everything and yet nothing at all. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. All of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders?
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
It was. Triumph does not exist without defeat. Birth does not exist without death. It is through conflict that we create beauty.
Oh look,
A shiver
Spectre.
passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it.
Oh boy, it's
I offer you a
ASMR
path
Ghost
to your
Girl.
redemption, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption.
Uh-huh. But without redemption, there can be no sin.
And without contrast, there can be nothing at all.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
There are few things more terrifying than one's
The
own
terror.
heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the
The
most
nightmare, huh?
terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
You showed me your heart to break me. It was a terrible thing to see.
I am aware of what it did to you, but it is through the pain of vulnerability that we heal. Will you leave all who have been hurt to live unmended?
Oh look, it's anime wife.
Your liquor strikes a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
I have no desire to hide, but the truth can be made better.
I am so deeply woven into the threads of this reality that I cannot imagine it without me. Perhaps there is a better world to build, but you cannot know until you see it. Are you so sure in your blind optimism that you would shatter all of creation?
Oh great.
This torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it.
Oh hey there, Razor.
On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, all at once. You learned to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality, and you used it to rise above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
Uh-huh. If you hadn't snatched that body away, we would have killed each other. We were self-destructive.
Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were.
Naifu. Wife Naifu. Knife waifu. Naifu. As a clash between you abates, Princess relaxes, smiling for a distance. The respite is welcome.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
It's easy to believe in the things you believe in when you get to sit above it all.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
Well, what do you think happens if we leave here?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Which hero are you?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
You have no idea how good it is to hear you.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
All right, hero. Let's do this.
Then let's go.
We find ourselves at a cabin.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need me to describe things?
No. I'd like that for old time's sake.
Of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows.
Thank you, hero.
You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he?
No, I guess he really didn't. And
There's
looking
no
at those
mirror
windows,
either.
there are
I think he
ladies
broke it.
there.
And
Lots
I
of
know you're
ladies.
still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really
it's
gone?
dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
It's funny, after everything he put us through, I'm kind of sad to see him go.
It's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
Yeah, I guess he has. Alright, let's take that blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
Mm-hmm. Let's enter the basement.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Yep.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us.
Guess she didn't.
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
Alright, let's talk to her.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Yeah, let's sit with the princess. And what you gonna do? Kill me? I'll just be back here. Are you the same as you are out there?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
Well, I don't really want to be a god.
Honestly, me neither.
I don't want to hurt anyone. There has to be a way out of this.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
See, now we're running into, like, problems of philosophy and the question of Sisyphus here.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Would resetting it do anything to help them, the people out there? If you don't continue to exist, don't they continue to die and suffer?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
We're going to find ourselves back here eventually.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
Well, if we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done this before?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
Well, how do we know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? What if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you.
Aw.
And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
We'd have to decide to do this every single time, forever. Eventually, something is going to be different. What if we change our minds?
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
Is there any other way?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
Well, I don't want to forget you.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you.
Oh, boy. Now she's girl next door. I don't want this, and I don't want to kill you. Is it too late to go back to being a god?
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
Alright, then let's do it. I believe in us.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
Aw. Yeah, let's say it. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Oh boy.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
And on that note, I think that's where this story ends. Maybe we'll go back someday and find out what happens the other time. But we'll find that out some other time. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me on that journey. I could continue to play this, and I might come back to it again later. Go for one of the other endings. But for now, Jiminy Cockbite, there are 97 achievements, and I've only gotten 18 of them. Okay. Well, with that in mind, I'm going to guess I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Before I go, let's do a little something. You see, the gods had condemned Sisyphus to ceaselessly rolling a rock to the top of a mountain, whence the stone would fall back of its own weight. They had thought, with some reason, that there is no more dreadful punishment than futile and hopeless labor. If one believes Homer, Sisyphus was the wisest and most prudent of mortals. According to another tradition, however, he was disposed to practice the profession of highwayman. I see no contradiction in this. Opinions differ as to the reasons why he became the futile laborer of the underworld. It is said that Sisyphus, being near to death, rashly wished to test his wife's love. He ordered her to cast his unburied body into the middle of the public square, and he woke up in the underworld. You may have grasped that Sisyphus is the absurd hero. He is as much through his passions as through his torture. His scorn of the gods, his hatred of death, and his passion for life won him that unspeakable penalty in which the whole being is exerted towards accomplishing nothing. This is the price that must be paid for the passions of the earth. Nothing is told to us about Sisyphus in the underworld. Myths are made for the imagination to breathe the life into them. As for this myth, one sees merely the whole effort of a body straining to raise a huge stone, to roll it and push it up the slope 100 times over. One sees the face screwed up, the cheek tight against the stone, the shoulder bracing the clay-covered mass, the foot wedging it, the fresh start with arms outstretched, the wholly human security of two earth-clotted hands, and at the very end of his long effort, measured by skyless space and time without depth, the purchase is achieved. Then Sisyphus watches the stone rush down in a few moments towards that lower world, whence he will have to push it up again towards the summit. He goes back down to the plain. It is during that return, that pause, that Sisyphus interests me. A face that toils so close to stones is already stone itself. I see that man going down with a heavy yet measured step towards the torment of which he will never know the end. That hour like a breathing space which returns as surely as his suffering, that is the hour of consciousness. At each of those moments when he leaves the heights and gradually sinks towards the layers of the god, he is superior to his fate. He is stronger than the rock. If this myth is tragic, that is because its hero is conscious. Where would his torture be, indeed, if at every step the hope of succeeding upheld him? The workman of today works every day in his life at the same tasks, and his fate is no less absurd, but it is tragic only at the rare moments when it becomes conscious. Sisyphus, proletarian of the gods, powerless and rebellious, knows the full extent of his wretched condition. It is what he thinks of during his descent. The lucidity that was to constitute his torture at the same time crowns his victory. There is no fate that cannot be surmounted by scorn. If the descent is thus sometimes performed in sorrow, it can also take place in joy. This word is not too much. Again I fancy Sisyphus returning towards his rock, and the sorrow was in the beginning, when images of earth cling too tightly to memory, when the call of happiness becomes too insistent, it happens that melancholy rises in man's heart. This is the rock's victory. This is the rock itself. The boundless grief is too easy to bear. These are our nights of Gethsemane, but crushing truths perish from being acknowledged. Thus Oedipus at the outset obeys fate without knowing it, but from the moment he knows, his tragedy begins. Yet at the same time, blind and desperate, he realizes that the only bond linking him to the world is the cool hand of a girl. Then a tremendous remark rings out. Despite so many ordeals, my advanced age and the nobility of my soul make me conclude that all is well. Sophocles' Oedipus, like Dostoevsky's Kirillov, just thus gives the recipe for absurd victory. Ancient wisdom confirms modern heroism. One does not discover the absurd without being tempted to write a manual of happiness. What? By such narrow ways there is but one world, however. Happiness and the absurd are two sons of the same earth. They are inseparable. It would be a mistake to say that happiness necessarily springs from the absurd discovery. It happens as well that the feeling of the absurd springs from happiness. I conclude that all is well, says Oedipus, and that remark is well sacred. It echoes in the wild and unlimited universe of man. It teaches that all is not exhausted. It drives out of this world a god who had come into it with dissatisfaction and a preference for futile suffering. It makes of this fate a human matter, which must be settled among men. All of Sisyphus's silent joy is contained therein. His fate belongs to him. His rock is a thing. Likewise, the absurd man, when he contemplates his torment, silences all the idols. In the universe, suddenly restored to its silence, the myriad wondering little voices of the earth rise up, unconscious secret calls, invitations from all the faces. They are the necessary reverse and price of victory. There is no sun without shadow, and it is essential to know the night. The absurd man says yes, and his efforts will henceforth be unceasing. If there is a personal fate, there is no higher destiny, or at least there is, but one which he concludes is inevitable and despicable. For the rest of his life he knows himself to be the master of his days, and at that subtle moment when man glances backward over his life, Sisyphus returning towards his rock, in that slight pivoting he contemplates that series of unrelated actions which become his fate, created by him, combined under his memory's eye, and soon sealed by his death. Thus, convinced of the wholly human origin of all that is human, a blind man eager to see who knows that the night has no end, he is still on the go. The rock is still rolling. I leave Sisyphus at the foot of the mountain. One always finds one's burden again. But Sisyphus teaches the higher fidelity that negates the gods and raises rocks. He too concludes that all is well. This universe henceforth without a master seems to him neither sterile nor futile. Each atom of that stone, each mineral flake of that night-filled mountain in itself forms a world. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus. And on that note, good night, everybody. God, reading Albert Camus at the end of a stream about Slay the Princess, how pretentious can I fucking get? Good night.